So picture this. You're suddenly working from home, maybe you're trying to set up a really important video call, or perhaps helping a relative navigate some new online portal. And there's just nobody there. No tech whiz down the hall, no IT support you can quickly call. That feeling, that panic. Well, that whole situation, really amplified by everything that's happened globally, it's shown a huge spotlight on what our sources are calling technology deficits. Today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly these gaps in tech skills and actually communication skills too. And we're looking at a program called Tech Talk that's been working to fix this for a long time. We've got a great set of materials here, articles, briefing docs giving us a really solid look. Our mission today to pull out the key insights, understand how this established program helps people get confident with tech and cuts down on those everyday frustrations. Okay, let's unpack this then. Technology deficits. What exactly are we talking about, and why did they suddenly seem like such a huge deal these past few years?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not like the pandemic invented these problems, right? It really just pulled back the curtain. For ages, many of us got by with, tapping a colleague on the shoulder, that kind of informal help. Then, boom, overnight, remote work is the standard,
Mm-hmm.
and that safety net, gone. So you had tons of people, professionals, students, library users, just sort of stuck. It basically revealed this massive kind of hidden gap in essential tech skills,
Mm-hmm.
much bigger than we probably realized.
That makes sense. That informal support system just vanished.
Exactly. And Linda Keefe, she's the CEO of Shared Results International, the company behind Tech Talk. She put it really well. She talked about people being stuck in homes with no colleague handy and no IT support to
Yeah.
summon for help, just isolated with the tech.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just work. Rebecca Kluberdance from a library council in New York, she said, patrons call in with so many questions that libraries are glad to have a resource like Tech Talk to give to them.
Mm.
So it shows, it hits everyone when that immediate help isn't around.
Mm.
It's a fundamental thing.
Okay, that paints a really clear picture of the challenge. So if that's the problem, how does Tech Talk fit in? What's their approach to tackling these needs?
Well, what's fascinating here is Tech Talk's history and how it's adapted. It's a digital learning platform, right? A whole collection of articles, videos, webinars, all geared towards building these skills. But the key thing is, they're not new to this game. The sources say Tech Talk has been trusted by employers, libraries, and nonprofits for 30 years.
30 years. Wow, in tech years, that's like centuries.
Exactly. And staying relevant that long.
Yeah.
It really says something about their ability to create content that's genuinely relevant and useful, as the documents put it.
So how do they do that? 30 years of tech change is a lot. How do they keep the content fresh and also, friendly and easy to understand? That seems crucial.
I think it boils down to their process. The sources highlight that the content is actually developed weekly. Yeah, by top training experts. And their whole focus is apparently on breaking things down. Small steps. Actionable advice. It's not about throwing jargon at you. It's about giving you exactly what you need to solve this problem right now in a way that makes sense even if you're, well, a non-techie. That seems to be their core philosophy.
Right, practical and accessible. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. Tech Talk isn't just throwing one solution out there. How does it manage to help such different groups? You've got businesses needing staff to be more productive, libraries helping, absolute beginners.
That's spot on. They have these really distinct, tailored solutions. It's definitely not one size fits all.
Yeah.
So for employers, the problem they identified is staff need practical upskilling, but training is time-consuming and expensive. Makes sense, right?
Totally. Time and budget are always tight.
So their answer is Tech Talk Pro. And the idea there is weekly micro lessons, little bites, focused on boosting productivity in things like email, collaboration tools, writing, and specific tech skills. Think about like a quick video showing you exactly how to set up a rule in your inbox, or master a pivot table in Excel without spending hours on it.
Okay, micro lessons. I like that. What about the libraries and nonprofits? Their audience is often quite different.
Exactly. For them, the challenge is often that community members struggle with basic tech. So they offer Tech Talk Basic. And this version is all about simple, jargon-free lessons with visuals and video ideal for digital novices. Very step-by-step, lots of pictures. And actually, during the pandemic, Shared Results International did something pretty cool. They offered a free learning program through Tech Talk to libraries. They even extended it into late 2020 to help staff, patrons, students, basically anyone struggling with the shift online.
That's a great initiative. Okay, and what about IT departments? You mentioned them earlier.
Right, so for IT directors, the headache is often the help desk getting swamped with basic how-to questions. How do I do X in Word? Or
Yeah.
how do I attach a file again?
Oh, I can imagine. That must eat up a lot of time.
For sure. So Tech Talk helps offload that non-technical support. They provide this library of searchable self-service tutorials. So instead of calling IT for a simple PowerPoint question, staff can quickly search Tech Talk, find a short video or article, and solve it themselves. Frees up IT for the bigger stuff.
Smart. Self-service.
Yeah. And ultimately, the target audience is described as busy professionals and non-techies of all ages. Anyone who wants to be, as they say, productive at work and successful in everyday life.
That's quite a range. Now, you mentioned earlier it's not just tech skills. So what does this all mean? Why the focus on both technology and communication? Why pair them up?
Yeah, this is a really crucial part of their approach, I think. It goes beyond just knowing which button to click. The insight seems to be that in today's world, you need both. You can be technically brilliant, but if you can't explain your work or collaborate effectively using digital tools or even just write a clear email, you're going to struggle.
Good point. Being able to use the tech is one thing, communicating through it is another.
Precisely. Tech Talk seems to recognize that good communication skills actually amplify your tech skills. They help you turn basic competence into, real impact. So they have specific content categories for both. Under technology, you find the expected stuff. Email, Excel, Google Tools, PowerPoint, mobile, even some web design basics. But then, equally important, under communication, they cover things like writing, grammar, listening skills, how to present effectively, even dealing with conflict and building trust.
Wow, that's quite comprehensive. Covering conflict and trust alongside Excel tips.
Yeah. It's about developing the whole person, right? Someone who can do the task and communicate its value, work well on a team online. It all ties back to overall productivity and, frankly, career success.
That really does elevate it beyond just tech support. Okay, so they've got all this great content tailored for different people, covering tech and communication. How do people actually get it? What are the ways users can access Tech Talk?
They've made access pretty straightforward and flexible, which is smart. There are basically 4 main ways in. First, there's a productivity tips newsletter and video. This comes out weekly, delivered right to your email. So 52 times a year, you get these fresh articles and short videos. Keeps things top of mind.
Weekly tips.
Second, there's the membership database. Think of it like a big searchable library. Sources call it up-to-date and relevant topics for success. It's kept current, updated weekly too, and you can just search for whatever you need whenever you need it.
A searchable library, got it.
Third, they do live webinars and have recordings. These are described as in-depth, assorted interactive classes. So a chance to engage live, ask questions, and if you miss one, the recordings are there.
Live sessions too, nice. And the fourth.
Finally, there's a mobile app, which makes sense, right? For quick and easy access to solve popular problems when you're on the go, maybe using your tablet or phone.
An app, of course. Very convenient.
Yeah, and the consistent theme across all these methods is that the learning is recognized for its friendly and easy to understand content. They really hammer that point home.
It sounds incredibly user-focused.
Yeah.
So let's pull back again. If we connect this to the bigger picture, beyond just fixing email problems or teaching spreadsheet tricks, what's the ultimate goal here? What impact does Tech Talk really aim to have?
All right, it's definitely more than just skills training. This raises an important point about their mission. Shared Results International, the parent company, their stated goal is to bring tools and techniques so that your workers, students, and patrons can develop confidence, self-reliance, and pride as they become smart, tech-savvy non-techies.
Confidence, self-reliance, pride. That's powerful.
Isn't it? It's about empowerment. It's moving people away from feeling frustrated or intimidated by technology towards feeling capable and self-sufficient. It's less about fixing a single problem and more about building this ongoing capability, this digital literacy that lets people feel competent in this tech-driven world. It's about, a personal and professional growth.
That provides great context. Okay, so that really wraps up our deep dive into Tech Talk. Based on the sources you brought, it seems like a really vital and clearly very accessible solution for tackling those technology deficits we talked about at the start. It's impressive how it supports such a wide spectrum of people, IT pros, total beginners, employees, library patrons, and it's all built on this, remarkable 30-year track record, plus that integrated approach hitting both tech and communication.
Absolutely. And, thinking about all this, it really raises an important question for you, the listener. Given how fast technology keeps changing and how interlinked these tech and communication skills clearly are, how essential does this kind of self-directed continuous learning become? Not just when there's a crisis like a pandemic, but just as a basic part of thriving day-to-day in our digital world.
That's a really important thought to end on. Definitely something for all of us to consider. If you want to find out more about Tech Talk, you can visit their website, www.techtalk.com. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive today.